Hi you guys, how are you? So I am here, my name is Brooklyn. I'm here to do the brow tutorial. I have gotten a number of messages. So first of all, on both Instagram and on my Facebook Messenger, which is Brooklyn Tamara Bowdler, thank you so much. I am so grateful for the interaction. You guys leave comments to look above, and in my link tree, you can go to my family page, my business page, or head right over to my website. So these are the things that I use. I have my Behold Setting spray because I like to spray. I'll go ahead and do that. I like to spray my angled brush so I get a nice clean line from my brow obsession brush. I love our pencil. This is our precision pencil. I love it because it is precise, as in the name. But it lasted about 2.5 months and it actually ran out, but I still use the spoolie. So what I start with, and also I have concealer. And I just put a little drop of that right here on my, and I always have a nice wet concealer brush. This is actually for wet eyeshadow, so that's why it's kind of called that. It's just a little more flimsy. So I have that ready to sort of perfect any kind of mess ups, and it gives a nice highlight underneath. This comes with wax, a dark shadow, a light shadow. This is our medium brunette. This is our brown brunette. So we have a dark brunette and then a blonde, okay? So this comes with a light, a dark, and then it comes with 2 separate types of highlighters and a wax, okay? I mainly just use this one, and sometimes I'll use the wax, and every now and then I'll throw some highlighter in, but I prefer to use concealer for that, okay? So let's get started. This is what I do. I go ahead and brush down my hairs. Now, I did some damage to my brows in the 90s. If you are over the age of 33, who didn't, I'm going to take this brush, I'm going to put it into the medium color, and I'm going to do one nice line. I do kind of long strokes. If it was the pencil, I'd probably just go, but because, let's see, I got overly fun there. Be overly fun. Oh, darn it. But because this is a brush, you just got to be a little more precise with it, which is why I use this setting powder to kind of wet. So I'm just gonna outline my natural brow. I don't build a brow, okay? I just outline what I already have, and then I fill it in. Then I'm gonna take the spoolie. I'm gonna brush my brows back up into their regular position. Then I'm gonna take the still wet brush, and I'm gonna go underneath. So I'm going to go underneath, outline underneath. One thing you want is you always want your arch to be directly diagonal from the tip of your nose. Okay, that is what's going to give you the symmetrical, make your face symmetrical. And yes, with makeup, you can make things happen. You can make your face more symmetrical. You know, if you had a bump in your nose or anything. Then with the residual, this is so simple. With the residual that's on the brush already, you go in on the front. Why the residual? Well, you want it to fade in. That's what makes it look more natural versus, build a brow, which and make it all dark. You don't want to do that. Some do and it looks great. It's just not the look I go for. So I'm figuring people that contacted me to do a brow tutorial wanted a more natural look. Then I'm going to take, this is when I use the concealer, and you want to make sure you really just have a nice, and you're just going to go right above. And I use little strokes because I don't want to mess up the work I just did. But I do want to highlight underneath to give it a more precise look. If I happen to just pluck my brows a little bit last night, just a little bit in this area, I don't pluck too much. And then you take your spoolie, and you just really rub all the product in there. So not the concealer, just the powder from the palette. So you keep it as natural as possible, okay? And you do the same thing on the other side. I am using the spoolie from our precision brush, which I brush my brows down. I'm using the lighter brunette powder from our Obsession Brow Palette by Moodstruck Unique, which I love. And this is a little wet, so I'm just going to draw a nice line. I don't build a brow. I draw on what I have and fill it in. That's why I was so surprised and humbled by all your messages. I was like, really? Because I just feel like I just fill in what I already have. I don't feel like I do anything too spectacular. Okay, another great tip I want to give you guys. Now this brow is a little bit thinner than the other, so I use residual as I go, whereas you saw with the other brow, I don't use residual till the end. This one I do work a little harder on in the front. I'm gonna now take that spoolie as I call it, and I'm going to pull it up. Like I said, this brow is a little bit thinner, so I gotta add a little more thickness. Take the brush again. Here's my biggest tip for you guys. Put your arch directly diagonal from the tip of your nose. It is going to give your face a more symmetrical look. It's going to kind of like contouring does, sort of help get rid of any bumps and anything that's lopsided, anything, even if a zit's making you lopsided, it's going to help frame your face. Try and match your brows as close as you can to where your hair hits. I probably should be using a little bit darker. I did darken my hair, but that's okay, I can fix that. So when you do notice things like that, just sort of get some, I like to mix it up, to be honest. So I just took the darker, which is more of a black, which is in the same palette. And I'm just gonna run it through, like give my brow some black highlights. So so I can match my hair. And you guys, I didn't mean to go this dark. I was just trying to give myself purple highlights, and the purple made the pigments of my naturally really dark hair go back to black. So I was sort of bummed because I'd gone through all this trouble for nothing. So right now I'm just adding in some darker brunette, almost black highlights to match my hair. Then I'm gonna take the concealer brush and just sort of brush, did you hear that? And just sort of really make sure these lines are good to go. And then the last step for me is always my spoolie. Just blends everything in. And you need to exfoliate your brows for that reason. So there's no product that is like looking kind of dry or flaky. So you can exfoliate your brows with our lip exfoliator. And if you have an old spoolie, just shake it up, and that's how you can exfoliate. Or use our exfoliating cleanser and really get in there when you're in the shower. So those are my brows. Thank you guys so much for your questions. If you have any more questions on skin or anything, if you're in the Atlanta area and would like a facial, I do everything from photo care, LED lighting. I do hydration facials. I do aloe vera facials, coconut water hydration facials, micro needling, glycolic peels, European facials, extractions, acne, high frequency LED facials. So I got you covered if you want. If you're in the Atlanta area, come to my home spa and take a break. Thanks again for asking me about my brows because I screwed these up in the 90s. So I'm really grateful. I'll see you guys soon. I'm Brooklyn. Bye.